Unstable SMP is packed with characters. Some of them are constantly in the spotlight, shaping the story with every upload. But others, they've completely disappeared. So in this video, we're diving deep into the forgotten side of Unstable SMP, breaking down theories, clues, and lore to figure out what really happened to these missing players. Before we get into it, this video was heavily inspired by Invertrix. Make sure to check his video out. Now let's talk about one of the most debated players on the entire server, Ashwag. His last real appearance was during Spoke's 100 Days Hidden video, where Spoke secretly tracked him after the Mafia's destruction. And there he saw Ashwag's base, Point Nemo, which is tagged. Hidden rooms, massive loot reserves, full sets of diamond armor, even an armor villager, which is ridiculously valuable considering how scarce resources are on this server, which of course Spoke immediately ruined. By the end of that video, Ashwag trades a dragon egg for 100 mending books, a deal that connects him to one of the richest players on the server, Ashra. So here's the question, where is he now? Realistically, someone with that much power, wealth, and influence should be a target. You'd expect them to get hunted down, but we've heard nothing. No death and no major conflict. And for a player like Ashwag, that silence is telling us the most likely answer is he's staying low. After everything that happened with the Mafia, it makes sense for him to just sit back at Point Nemo, let the chaos settle, and wait for Spoke to become evil, which is already happening. Then he'd promised to be back. Squido is another player who just vanished. After being kicked out of Point Nemo, she hasn't really appeared since. But here's the thing, her story is directly tied to Ashwag. Once it was revealed that the strange activity at the base wasn't actually her fault, but instead Spoke's interference, there's a strong chance she was allowed back in. And considering their relationship both in real life and the server lore, it's almost guaranteed. Also, did you know Squido and Ashwag are married? Which leads to a simple conclusion. Wherever Ashwag is, Squido probably is too. Most likely they're both still at Point Nemo, just staying out of the spotlight. Next, ItzRealMe, the former #1 ranked Minecraft PvP player. So what actually happened to him? You see, when we first saw ItzRealMe, he was working for the director as an assassin, trying to kill Parrot. But the last time we get to see him was in Flame's training arc. There he's retired, no longer challenging the top. And he mentioned he was hunted by the law for reasons we quite don't know yet. He was even considering turning himself in, until Flame stopped him. A couple of months has passed, and just as we thought he might return to the story, he doesn't. Now the next character is another PvP master, Pier. In Bamboo's Unmastered Minecraft Combat video, he gets trained by one of the best combat masters, Pier. And after a dispute, Bamboo returns to Pier's base to find the sign Lost Cause. Then he disappeared for 1 year, and we don't hear from Pier all until Flame needs training to master the spear. We even found out his old base was occupied by the law. Flame finds him in a cave, where he built a new base isolated from the rest of the world. There we get to see his character development, as well as his connection with Flame. You see, before they got into a big fight, Flame and Pier were like brothers. Now 2 months have passed, and I don't think we will see him again anytime soon. This player is going to make the biggest comeback in the Unstable universe. Jamato P. Jamato was one of the first players on the server, and possessed immense power and exploits that could destroy Unstable. And my best friend died on the Unstable SMP. Jamato P got into a fight with Spoke, and that would be the last time we see him in a while. The next time he appears is in Bamboo's I Explore the Farlands video, about a month ago, where he led Bamboo and Egg across an enchanted forest. Then after Bamboo triggered his stasis, he disappeared again. He probably is in the Farlands, protecting the forge, and with this new nil arc happening, it could be a perfect time for him to come back. Maybe he's their leader, or maybe he joins Spoke in defeating them. Nevertheless, Jamato has unfinished business on Unstable, and he will be coming back. But what about Clown Pierce? At one point, Clown had the most potential to be a main villain. Him monopolizing the Nether made him have infinite resources and a strong faction. He was one of the most feared players on Unstable. But you see, ever since he tried executing Parrot, he has disappeared, and we haven't seen him since. But we have heard from him. He still controls the Nether. And in one of Parrot's new videos, we learned that he had stopped supplying potions to the overworld, which is an act of rebellion, because Parrot freed Spawn. This could be a hint of him coming back. With the other factions rebelling and starting wars, Clown Pierce could join the fight with the Nether faction to cause absolute chaos. Also, in Spoke's Bounty Hunter videos, we saw that the hunters were using the Nether to travel. Clown kills almost every player that enters the Nether, so them being alive might mean they work for Clown. Now here is someone different, Mapic. He appeared at the end of Spoke's video, Before that, he was missing for 4 weeks, right after the final law battle, and we haven't got a clue on where he could have been or what he was up to. With Spoke facing the Nil bounty hunters, it was safe to say they were the ones who kidnapped him. He could have escaped like that one player we already saw, but my theory is that Jamato is behind this. But we won't know for sure until a new video comes out. Now let's move into some deeper lore. The first generation players, those who live beyond the Farlands, are some of the most mysterious figures in Unstable SMP. Starting with Serpentbound. He's not even a YouTuber, but he plays a massive role in the story. The last time we saw him, he was used to power a massive weapon, one that gave another player insane destructive abilities. And yet, he's still alive. We even see him later, confirming he's still somewhere out there, most likely still in the Farlands. And the same goes for the other 2 survivors, Nitten Lee and Firestar. Both were last seen in situations where they should have died, falling into the void, but neither of them had a confirmed death. No message in the chat and no death sound, which in Unstable SMP usually means one thing: they survive. So while they haven't appeared recently, it's very likely they're still out there and could return at any moment. Unstable SMP is constantly evolving. Players come and go, stories shift, and not every character gets a clear ending. But that's what makes it interesting, because even when someone disappears, it doesn't mean their story is over. Ashwag said he will return when Spoke becomes evil. Jamato P is making moves in secret, planning something that could change Unstable. And Mapic? Well, we will just have to find out. So if you want a part 2 where we dive into even more forgotten players and theories, let me know. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, there's another video on screen right now where I go over where Mapic has disappeared.